I put 3 of the most powerful AI chatbots to the ultimate test to see which one can create the best bot for trading on MetaTrader 5. And trust me, the results are going to shock you. Now, I've been in the trading game for over 8 years. I've traded a lot of manual and I've traded a lot of expert advisors. And in this video, I'm putting all my knowledge into these AIs to see what they can create for me. We gave ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Grok 3 the exact same prompt and made them battle it out to build the ultimate trading bot. No human intervention, just pure AI brain power. In this video, you're going to find out which is the smartest, the fastest, and the most accurate for creating an MT5 trading bot. We're going to go through 3 main intense phases. And in the end, we will crown one of them the ultimate AI trading bot champion. So with that being said, let's get started. Now, as you can see here, phase 1 is broken up into 2 different steps. First off, we have to pick the 3 AI chatbots or models we will be using. Now, we've done that. Like I said, we have ChatGPT, we have DeepSeek, and we have Grok 3. So we've chosen our 3. Done. The next step is we have to give all 3 of these AI bots the same in-depth prompt to come up with a day trading strategy that we can easily convert into an EA. Now, this step is also done, and I want to be clear that I actually gave a very brief prompt to another AI chatbot. And this is because I wanted it to be a completely fair, unbiased prompt generated from a completely different source. So I gave a very basic prompt to Gemini and told it to give me an in-depth prompt that I can feed to a chatbot to generate a strategy. Let's let the AI battle begin. Welcome to phase 1, where our AI contenders step into the ring. Let's meet them. First up, we have ChatGPT, the seasoned heavyweight from OpenAI, known for its vast knowledge and creativity. It's helped millions with coding and answers. Expectations are high that it can craft a clever trading strategy with solid reasoning. Next into the ring, we have DeepSeek, a lesser known but formidable challenger, rumored to excel at deep analysis and data-driven answers. Will its analytical edge produce a killer trading plan? And last but not least, stepping into the ring is Grok 3, the wild card newcomer, cutting edge and a bit unpredictable. Some say Grok has an unconventional approach and even a sense of humor. Will it surprise us with an innovative strategy or go off the rails? So you guys have now met the challenges. I have shown you the prompt I'm going to use. So there's nothing left but to let these challenges compete. Okay, so the same prompt delivered to each of the chatbots. So let's have a look what happened. Okay, so ChatGPT first. So ChatGPT was the only of the bots that came back with questions before it delivered its response. So it first asked me a few questions: your risk tolerance, preferred trading hours, maximum number of trades per day, any restrictions on holding prior to news, blah, blah, blah. So it's really interesting. It actually came back with, asking some questions before it was ready to give me the response. So I answered its questions and this is what happened. It gave me a fully thorough. Now, it did take 7 minutes and 20 seconds to get the response. It was the most intense in terms of research. I could see the research it was doing. It was actually searching all of these areas, all of these places on the internet for data to help come up with the exact strategy. So this was the strategy it came up with. It came with Euro USD, GBP USD, and USD JPY. Now, interestingly enough, all of the bots actually chose the same currency pairs and also chose the same time frame. So that's really interesting, and actually ended up selecting very similar strategies. So this is going to be very interesting. It's going to come down to the coding and it's going to come down to the final tweaking and the final results. But let's have a look. So ChatGPT took the longest, but I felt like the time was well spent in terms of its research, and it gave me a very thorough breakdown of everything. So I've put this into the sheet. You can see here, response from ChatGPT right over here. Now, I am going to make this available to you guys. If you guys want to just have a look at this, if you want to, maybe continue on this, I will make this available. If you want to use the same prompt, it's all going to be there. So very thorough. Like you said, it's got the same pair. So like I said, all of them chose the same pair. So I'm actually going to use Euro USD as my base pair for all of them. So time frame, it chose 15 minute. Again, 15 minute was chosen for all 3 3 of the chatbots. Strategy is going to be a trend following, trend continuation with pullback entries, which is very interesting. Rationale, it gives you all the thinking, and it goes in depth, guys. And it also gives you all of the sources, everywhere it got its information from. So very, very cool. Technical indicators, this is going to use a 50 EMA and a 20 EMA. And it's also looking at price action, which is really interesting. None of the others are looking at price action, swing highs and swing lows, which is extremely valuable and powerful when it comes to strategies. So then it's also looking at, I think, what is the other indicator it was looking at? I think was a RSI, 14 period RSI, which all of them actually did as well. And then it's got entry rules, exit rules, risk management, exactly how it's, so this one in terms of risk management broke it down the most. And so this is also how it's talking about the fact that this strategy can very easily be implemented into an EA, which is good because that's ultimately what we want to do. So I gave this an 8 out of 10. Even though it took a little bit longer, there was a reason why it took longer. It was going super in depth with its research, and I felt like its responses and how it used that time spent to basically give me the best strategy possible. So I felt very good about the strategy that this is talking about. How it's going to convert that into an EA, we'll have to see. But 8 out of 10 for phase 1 for ChatGPT. Next up, let's look at Grok. Okay, so here we go, guys. Grok came back in 32 seconds. So its thought process took 32 seconds. Now, if this ends up giving me a powerful strategy, that is amazing. Is it enough time to do the research to actually come back? I don't know. Sometimes with this kind of thing, you don't mind it giving a little bit more time or taking a bit more time if it's time well spent. Okay, so you can see here, guys, currency pairs. So it's actually selected Euro USD as the main one and then saying optional ones, which is pretty cool. None of the others did that. They just said you can use all 3, but this is saying the selected pair is Euro USD. Justification, and then time frame, again, 15 minutes. It's justification. Now, this is also a trend following strategy based on EMA crossover with an ADX filter, reasoning, and then it's got 9 EMA and a 21 EMA, so different to ChatGPT. Also using a 14 period ADX, actually not RSI, ADX, so that is different, and it's got its threshold as well. Explanation, I give this a 7.5 out of 10 because although it was quick, I feel like it is kind of basic in terms of its explanation for its reasoning. The reasoning is okay, but I don't think it's anywhere near as deep its reasoning as ChatGPT was. Okay, so now let's go to DeepSeek. Okay, so here we go, DeepSeek, guys. It didn't actually give us a time, so it actually shows you the full reasoning. So you can see here the full reason. Okay, 73 seconds, it does. It thought for 73 seconds. So this and Grok 3 were very similar, 72 seconds, 73 seconds in terms of its thought process, which me is, it's amazing that it's that fast, but is that too quick? Is it giving itself enough time to reason? So currency pairs, again, guys, exactly the same one, Euro USD GBP and Y, time frame 15 minutes. Let's switch to the sheet first. Okay, so here we go. So currency pairs, time frame, strategy is going to be a trend following with momentum. Okay, so the technical advisor it's using is a 9 and a 21 with an RSI. So it's very similar to Grok, but instead of an ADX, which Grok was using, I think was an ADX. Let's have a look. Yeah, ADX 14. This is using an RSI 14, so maybe similar in terms of what's going to happen with its entry, etc. But it doesn't really give much in terms of why it's chosen. There's no reasoning there. It took the same amount of time, but I feel like it's less reasoning. Okay, so for that, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. So for the first phase, so that's where we stand. Phase 1, guys. Let's go straight to phase 2. We've now got to get each AI chat to create the code for the working MT5 Expert Advisor. Okay, and once we've done that, we are going to go back and test that EA, and we're going to keep giving the error codes until we have a working EA. So this is where we stand now. This is now phase 2. Let's go. Okay, so this is exactly the same prompt I'm going to give all of them. Okay, great. This looks like a promising strategy. Now I would like you to code the strategy exactly as you have presented it as a functioning MT5 Expert Advisor. Okay, so we're going to do this with all of them, the exact same prompt. We're not going to change any words. We've got ChatGPT working it out. Grok 3, exactly the same one. We've got Grok 3 working it out. And we've got DeepSeek, exactly the same prompt, guys. That is very important. I'm not changing a single word for either of them. Okay, so I'm going to come back as soon as it's given me the code, and we're going to start testing. Okay, guys, ChatGPT has come back with the code way faster than any of the others. It's pretty much finished the code, and DeepSeek is still thinking and Grok 3 is still thinking. So when it comes to the actual code, ChatGPT has blown these guys out the water, but let's see how it works. So I'm going to start with ChatGPT. We're going to grab that code. We're going to basically put this into MT5 and see if it is a functioning EA. Okay, so let's go have a look. Is this complete? ChatGPT intensive code. It gives all the information exactly how the EA works. All right, so we are going to copy this. First of all, I'm going to put it into the first GPT code. How many errors? So this is what we're going to find out now. How many errors do we get from this? Okay, guys, here we are in the meta editor. You can see I have been doing a little bit of testing before I even started this because I wanted to make sure it all went smoothly. But let's go. We're going to delete this and we are going to paste in. Now we've got to save this as a new file because this is actually going to be ChatGPT. So we're going to do GPT V1. Okay, this is going to be GPT V1. We're pasting it in advisors and now we're going to compile this to see, does it come back? Okay, so it comes back with 11 warnings and 10 errors. The errors are the main thing I'm going to see, but I'm going to just copy and paste everything, right? We go to where the errors start. We select the first error right over there and we go to the bottom. We select all. Right now we go back to ChatGPT, okay? ChatGPT, and we are going to say, it's important that you say full because sometimes it'll just give you the snippets that you need to replace. I always ask for the full code, the full, and then what I do is that, and I give the errors. There we go. There's all the errors, 10 errors. Okay, so 10 errors for the first code. All right, so let's see if ChatGPT can sort these out. Right, come on, ChatGPT, you've got this. Wow, we have more errors now. Okay, so we now have ended up with more errors. Right, what I'm going to do as well, guys, is for each of the other chatbots, I'm not going to go through the whole process. I'm just going to basically go through the amount of times until we get to the actual working EA, okay? So from now, I'm just going to fast forward until the moment I have all EAs working and how many versions or how many times it took me to get there. Okay, so next time you see me, it's going to be updated of that. Okay, round 2, or should I say phase 2 is over and they're all still fighting. I thought maybe we're going to lose someone in this phase, but I ended up all of them giving me code that is actually 0 errors and working in MT5, working EAs. So let me run through exactly what happened, guys. First off, ChatGPT, I got code. It gave me 10 errors. I went back and I told it that I had the 10 errors. Can you fix it? It actually ended up coming back with 19 errors, more errors in the second time than it actually had the first time. Went back again, it gave me 12 errors. And then what ended up happening, no matter how many times I tried from that point on, it kept giving me 12 errors. It kept telling me it's fixed the errors and then the same 12 errors. So no matter what I did, I got to about 7 attempts and it was the same thing. So I figured out that what it was is if I go to this fourth one here, I'll show you the actual, what I wrote down there. We discovered that it was the same 12 errors all the time and it was due to the strategy being time-based, trying to only trade during London and New York session. So I told ChatGPT to remove time-based trading altogether. So essentially that time-based was really screwing with it. It could not figure out how to fix that problem. Although that sucks because I do think this strategy will be better if we can trade only those times. I told it just to take it out. The other strategies are not putting in the time-based either, so maybe it'll be a little bit more fair, but a little bit unfair in terms of the fact that ChatGPT actually had the forethought to, think about trading times only, but it couldn't figure it out. So once I said, don't think about time, it gave me the code and it was 0 errors and we were sorted. So because of that, let's talk about ranking, okay? Next up, so I gave this 7.5 out of 10 because first off, the second attempt gave me more errors, which was weird. It shouldn't do that. And then it took me 4 times. It actually took me more times, but I could have gone to 100 times if I didn't figure out that it was the time-based thing. It just would not have figured out the time-based. So I left it at a total of 4 times because essentially after the third, once it had the time-based issue in, it was going to constantly come back with the same error. So we're looking at it, fixing it after 4 once I told it that we're not doing time-based, just give me the strategy without any time-based. We're just trading it full-time, 24/7. So 7.5 out of 10, not as good as its first round. Phase 2, round 2, it's ChatGPT maybe stumbling a little bit, getting tired, not quite, or maybe biding its time, but it did take a few hits. Next up, we're going to look at DeepSeek. DeepSeek, first round, 38 errors. That's right, 38 errors. Second time around, I looked into it again and we had only 3 errors, and then third time round it fixed its errors and we were sorted. So only 3 rounds to fix that. So for me, that is going to be an 8 out of 10. So DeepSeek coming back a little bit, throwing a little bit harder punches. But then Grok, wow, Grok came in fighting in round 2 or phase 2. Grok threw some heavy uppercuts. Look at this, guys. Threw in the code it gave to me. First attempt, 0 errors. Very, very impressive. And that is incredible. So because of that, I'm giving Grok a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for phase 2. So what a comeback, Grok. You came back, you punched the lights out of ChatGPT and DeepSeek. So that's it for phase 2, guys. Now we're going into phase 3. We're going to run backtest for each EA for the same data set. This is 2024, the whole year. Then we're going to go back to each AI chat a maximum of 2 times for improvements on the EA if necessary, and then do a final test on the same data range to see which AI performs best. Okay, so I have already in the background working hard, getting all that data, getting everything going. So first up, DeepSeek, guys. I already went through, did the first test, and it came back for the whole year with not a single trade, guys. So I went back to DeepSeek and I basically said that there was not a single trade the whole year. I gave it this, which is one of the entries that came into the journal to see if it could figure out why this entry was. It gave me another code, a new set of code. So I updated that, popped that in, and I got exactly the same thing, not a single trade for the whole year. So I went back again and I said, look, we're not getting any trades. This is the journal entries. Can you figure out what's going on? And then it gave me an updated code again, which I used. There we go. Second time, no trades. Third time, not a single trade again. So unfortunately, DeepSeek gets knocked out in the third round. It just did not give us any single trades. You know, it did well to give us a working code. It performed very well. But for this, unfortunately, we got to give it like a 0 out of 10, I'm afraid, because it just didn't even work. So DeepSeek is out of the running. So now we go to Grok. What happened with Grok? Okay, the Grok's first test, it worked and it started off very well. If you guys have a look over here, you see it went up to about $12,000 profit in the first 2 months. That's about 20% increase on the account within 2 months. So potential was definitely there. Then it kind of flattened out and you can see the rest of the year kind of dropped off and it went to a losing strategy where it actually lost $2,881. It had a win rate of about 30%. So I went back to Grok and I said to Grok, look, Grok, this is not working. Can you figure this out for me? I gave it the stats, and based on the stats, it gave me a new set of code. This is the next code, and this is what happened. Again, we started off fairly strongly. I think we went similar to about $11,500, $12,000, kind of flattened out, and slowly over the end of the year, again, it dropped off. We actually ended up losing more, 4,089. The win rate dropped down to 28%, so it actually got worse. So I then went back to Grok and I said, look, we're getting worse. These are the numbers. Can you make this a winning strategy? You've got one more chance. Then it came back and it came very, very close. So this is the updated code and we ended up kind of losing a bit. It definitely took less trades, so the frequency was less. And what ended up happening is we only ended up losing 963 throughout the whole year. The win rate went up slightly to 31%. So not too bad for the whole year. We didn't end up losing that much, but I don't think we ever actually got ahead. But if you look over here, the second part of the year, we actually would have ended up making some serious money back. You can see that upwards curve. We actually ended up higher than that kind of losing streak. So we started off the year badly and then it got better. So whatever it changed, it seemed to flip. Whereas in the beginning of the year where we did do well, we kind of did bad, and then it ended up coming back. Okay, so now ChatGPT. So I've left this one for last because there was a few weird things going on and I just wanted to correct it. So you can see in the first test, we ended up getting $8, 100% win rate, but it was only one trade that it took the whole year. So something was not right. So I went back and I told ChatGPT, what's going on? You only took one trade. Said, okay, cool. Let me fix that for you. And it came back. And then we took 4 trades and we had a $5 profit over the whole year with a 50% win rate. So I was like, what's going on? And then we figured out between ChatGPT and myself that basically it was only ever trading the first day. So something was going wrong. it was trading the first day, and then when it would stop trading. So that $8 and that $5 was essentially the 1st of January, and then it never traded the rest of the whole year. So I said to ChatGPT, look, something's going on. You're only trading the first day. What's happening? And then I figured it out, and it came back with a new code for me, which I'm going to just paste in here. And we are essentially going to use this code now, and I'm going to go through the actual test with you guys. So ChatGPT says now it's going to take one trade every single day. I've got this risk set lower, but I've told it to give me the option to change my risk. So we might be able to do that. I want to see once we actually go in. So, okay, so there's the code. And now let's see how this performs. Okay, so I've got the code. Let's just select all of this. Let's do compile. Hopefully there's no errors, which is great to see. So now we can actually run this. Okay, so let's go. Let's just refresh this. We want to test this. I'm not going to change anything. $10,000. We're just going to run this based on the first. I just want to see. So the inputs. Yeah, so there you can see. So we're only risking 1% per day. So technically speaking, that should be our maximum risk. So let's just run this quickly. Hopefully we are trading. So it has fixed it. I can see it's fixed it. We now appear to be trading every single day, which is good. So let's let this run through and see what happens. Okay, so we have a positive result. This is the first positive result in all of these tests. So let's have a quick look at this. I'm going to close this. This is actually exciting, guys. Okay, there we go. So started off a bit rocky, end of the year, finished strong, and up she went to a positive result. So backtest, you can see we had a net profit of 277. Now, one of the other things is it went quite aggressive, guys. It's basically trading a 1 to 3 risk reward, okay? Because it's only trading one strategy, and this was all decided by ChatGPT. The reasoning was that we're trading once, we're looking for a high quality setup, therefore we're going to go for a higher risk reward, which makes sense, right? And I like that. I like that ChatGPT is kind of thinking that deep, and it looks like it's paid off. Now look at this, guys. Total of 235 trades, so pretty much a trade every day if you minus the weekends. Only 22% win rate on the short trades and 28% on the long, right? But what I want to do now is I want to just quickly do something. I want to go to the inputs, and I actually want to risk. Let's go with a 2% risk per day, just because if you were trading this with a prop firm, that's kind of what you'd look. You'd look for trading 2%. You know, you want to go a little bit harder, a little bit more aggressive, and then leave it at that. So let's have a look how this ends at the end of the year. So this is the results I'm going to use. Now, none of the other EAs actually allowed me to change any variables. There was no variables. I went to the variables tab like I do here, and there was no inputs available. I couldn't change anything. It was basically just hard code that allowed me to trade the rules that we had. So this is the only, ChatGPT is the only one that's actually given me some variables, which is very interesting. Now I'm sure I could go into the others Grok and ask for the variables, and maybe it would give it to me. So okay, so there we go, guys. We ended the year with 11,072, right? So that is very, very interesting. So let's have a quick look here. This will all be the same. So this was essentially a 22% and a 28%. So you're looking at about, let's say, call it a 25%. I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. We're going to insert this. Profit was, what did we say? 1,071. And the win rate was about 25%, only a 25% win rate. So, you know, when you're trading a 1 to 3, that is likely to happen. Your win rate is going to go down. So that's what we're looking at. So just by looking at this right now, this looks like it is the winning one. But I do want to go back to the Grok one and just double check, did we have any options to change the settings? Okay, so let's have a quick look at that. Grok optimization version 2. So let's just test this quickly. Does this actually, no, you see, it doesn't give us any variables. So, you know, that is what it is. I wanted to give Grok another chance. I tried, but it doesn't actually give us variables. So with that being said, guys, that is it. The fight is over. So I'm going to give Grok a rating based on this, and I'm going to do it right over here. So Grok did not do too bad. Actually, with the final, you know, we gave it 2 chances. It initially went worse, but then it did get better. Now, we did not finish profitable at the end. We ended up lower, and because of that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So overall, I think we're looking at first code, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10, and then first response, 7.5 out of 10. So we're looking at an average of around maybe 7.5, 8 out of 10 for Grok. ChatGPT first response, we got a 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, and ChatGPT final test. I mean, we got to give it to ChatGPT here, guys. 1,000 up 10% at the end of the year is phenomenal for a, an EA created strategy. So for that, I have to give this a 9 out of 10. So for me, that's it, guys. That is a clear indication of who our winner is. It was a close fight till the end. Unfortunately, DeepSeek got knocked out, uppercutted in the third round, in the third phase. And then it was a battle between Grok 3 and ChatGPT. And ultimately, for this test at least, ChatGPT comes up the winner. Now, can ChatGPT defend the title? Maybe I need to do another test, a test where I come in with a very strict set of rules where I say, I have the strategy, I want you to use this strategy, and see how they come up against each other. So let me know, is that something you want to see? Let me know if there's something else you guys want to see. Is there another test you would like me to do when it comes to, testing these AIs? Is there another AI you want me to test, guys? So that's it. It's been about 3 days. All of the testing, all of the setting up, all of the backwards and forwards. This has taken me about 3 days. So if anything, guys, all I ask you to do is please just hit that thumbs up button, like the video, because it definitely helps with the algorithm, helps, get this out to people. Because, these kind of videos are hard to do, but I love bringing them to you. And all you got to do is just give the love back, like the video, and that will definitely help us out. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be more content like this. Now, what is my conclusion, guys? I don't think at the moment, just straight up creating a strategy, I don't think it's quite there. But, an incredible test, guys. Will I be using this strategy on a live account? No, because I think there is still probably a lot of, areas that it can improve on. Maybe I'll run this on a demo account, see how it goes. But I still think there's a lot of room for error. I would love to test this over like 10 years. Keep an eye out for our shorts. Maybe I'll be popping that on the shorts if you guys want to keep track of this. But yeah, speaking of EAs, if you are looking for an EA to trade for you, look no further than our very own Titan X. We've already done the work. You don't need to be using an AI to create it. We've done the work and it's working phenomenally well. It's specifically tailored to take prop firm challenges, and it's actually got over 1,000 of our members funded. So if this is something you want to check out, make sure you go to www.propfarmy.com. Phenomenal product, and it works very well. But that's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. We've got a lot of prop firm reviews coming up, and we are looking at doing some more content like this where we, kind of mixing it up and throwing in some extra cool content like this. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.